Okay, so I think we're online now. Hernán.
Sí, estamos en línea.
Ya empezamos entonces. Good afternoon to all our brothers and sisters that are connected today to listen to our speaker, Gali Gardiner. She is from Israel. 10 years ago, she started learning with a teacher in Israel. And since then, she has walked this path as a medicine woman, carrying grandfather Wachuma and other medicines like mama coca and tobacco and cacao, all medicines that help to open the heart. And so today she is going to share her knowledge around what she has received from the medicine and what she has walked in this path for the past 10 years. So Gal, welcome. Very
Thank
nice to
you.
have you with us today. And now we are ready to hear all what you can share with us.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be able to share with so many people at once. This is part of what has happened, and the big change for me has happened a little over a year ago. I was working with Wachuma with my teachers, and it's a wonderful medicine of the heart. And then I got in contact, and Don Agustin got into contact with me about a different way of preparing the medicine. And I was all in because I felt like I have no right to hold knowledge or information, and I wanted to share more. And Don Agustin came with this, and the method was to dry the medicine first and then ferment. But the thing is that what I did was with his guidance, I grew a SCOBY. We made medicine that is like kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an exploration because apparently we don't know if anybody does this, or I don't know if anybody does this. But for me, it was an exploration of what can be done with this. And I found that as the medicine fermented, it became like pure spirit. It became alive. I would pass by the medicine and I would feel it running through my bloodstream. And it was so soft and very, very deep. And I started with microdosing. I did not start with ceremony. I started with microdosing, which usually with Wachuma, I haven't heard of microdosing before. And it was amazing because first, if I drank a lot, it would just put me to sleep and I would go into dream time. And then data would come and pictures would come. And then I started taking very, very little. And all the drama disappeared. There was no drama. Everything was very calm. Everything felt very safe. It still does. It feels very safe and very calm and very much like a mother that basically says, you're fine. Just be still. It's very quiet. And then visions started to come. I'm quite a visual person. I don't know if everybody gets pictures, but I got pictures. And there was one where there was a woman laying inside the earth, and from her belly came the Wachuma into the sky. And above it was a great spiral of many colors. And from there came light into people's hearts. And each person did not need the medicine person to talk to the Wachuma or to talk to the spiral. It came straight to them. And it really did inspire me, because for a long time I was kind of occupied with the spiral that I saw in ceremonies and things, and how all the different people make different notes, and all the different ways and all the different paths make different notes, and this is what makes the music. And so I kept on microdosing for a long time before I did the ceremony for other people, so I could hold this and see, because just my eyes is just my eyes. So I wanted to see with other people, whoever wanted. So I share how to cook and how to make the SCOBY. And I tried, for example, one time to ferment only 3 weeks. And then there was one I fermented with a SCOBY for about 19 weeks. And it became softer and it became deeper. And it works with a quiet. And when you lay down and you close your eyes, for me, I could see clearly. I could see that everything is really fine. And the way we are going is the way of softness, because soft things are going to continue, whereas harder things are going to crack and going to break. And this is not the way of we are proceeding. The world, for me, as I see it, changes. It's in constant movement. And right now there's a universal change. Something very big is happening. And I see softness and unity comes for me, first of all, by accepting that my eyes are this and your eyes are this, and they are all legitimate and they are all good, and we can sit together and we can join with me having respect of this. And for me, respect comes from humility. I am humble, then I can see that your way is good for you. It might not fit me, but I totally accept that this path is also good, and also this, and also this, and this brings the unity. And when I sat with Wachuma, I'm not a very strong in working with my mind anymore. I put it aside a lot in order to understand. And more, I worked with impulse and emotion. And it guided me very, very well. And then there became the combination of when I am aligned, they work together. And so I started doing ceremonies, very small ceremonies, very quiet. And the people that came, I said, okay, so I share how we cook, because the medicine is not mine. It belongs to everyone. And if you look around the world, Wachuma has spread itself kind of like cacao. They just went boom, let's go. And so I shared how to cook. I still do with anybody and everyone who wants and shows interest, in a serious way. And what happened was quite a few people started microdosing. And a few come to ceremony. Ceremony for me is a little bit like a magnifying glass. It's very focused, and then you get your homework. Whereas microdosing comes into life. And I told them, okay, we need to kind of speak of what happens, because I don't know if what you feel is what I feel and what you see is what I see. And most of the people that experienced this were speaking of the same thing. The drama comes down. There's no drama. Everything is calm. And everything becomes very clear. And it helps with everyday life, whether you're in a city or you're on a mountain. I say a lot that it's very easy to be spiritual on a mountain. Whereas in the middle of the city with everything, it's very dense. So I was very curious to see how some of the people that live in the city combine this. And it helped them be in well-being, which for me is the utmost thing. I have a nephew that channels, and he channels Mother Mother Earth, and she was saying, "You exist, therefore you're worthy. All the rest is cherry on top." And this thing is something I felt with Wachuma. That stop worrying. You are worthy, period. Why? Because you are here and you are in paradise. Open your eyes. We forget sometimes, I think, that there are things that we as people create. But this is our minds and this is our conclusions. And for me, this way of fermenting and making it so soft and having this live spirit reminds me, it awakens my memories from a long time ago, before we can remember, not the time that we know, the time before that, the time before time, when people still remembered how to listen to the plants and remembered how to listen to the stones, and they could feel it inside their belly and it came out. And this is why today this is what I'm dedicating my life to, because it brings me so much, wow, I feel so alive with this. And if anybody wants to share in this, if anybody looks and says, oh, this is interesting to me, I can't deny anything like this. It is not my right to do that. The medicine is spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I worked with fermenting, I also started using making the yucca drink with pineapple to support this, to feed the body while we are in ceremony. For example, I do ones that are like a day and a night, a longer ceremony. So this feeds the body while the medicine feeds the mind. In the night ceremonies, I bring in cacao at around midnight to support it. Mama, coca, of course, always. Tobacco connects us, in my experience, yes. I see these things as medicine, and I like using them that way in the things I do. And again, many people will say about tobacco, and for me, tobacco is something that grounds me. And so I see it as the medicine that assists me. So I cannot say to someone, yeah, you can't do that. I keep this away. I actually, with this medicine, with this fermentation, with this spirit, what happened to me was I let go of many things that used to be very, very strict. How to do things, how to speak, how to see, who is worthy. It's like everything kind of went away, and it became very clear that judgment is not mine. That I listen to the medicine. I have faith in the medicine. It never means me harm, ever. I sometimes will bring with my mind worry, but that's mine. It has nothing to do with the medicine. And so this is how I see the medicine. I see it as something that never means me any harm. It always brings good. It's always trustworthy. There is never danger. And this is how it feels. And so when we do like a ceremony like this, there's also cooperation. Yes, right now I'm holding the space, I'm pouring the medicine, but the people are my equals, always. If they wish to do something, if they feel that right now this is appropriate, I will always be open to it. It's not me that gives permission. It's like a cooperation. And amazingly, it works, especially because the ceremonies are very small. They're about 10 to 12 people tops. I don't know how it works with larger ceremonies because I don't do them. But in smaller ceremonies, it's just easier because for me, I very much like small groups. I like seeing people's eyes and right here. And then there's also conversation when people bring things up. Of course, at night there's a fire, and the fire, is magic as it is. During the daytime, I usually strive to be next to water because these things support everything that we see and we believe and we feel. And I encourage the people to feel, because I found that many times we forget to identify. We're not sure how to identify our own emotion, our own impulse, because sometimes the brain gets in the way, we give it the keys and it drives wherever it wants. So we take the keys back. We take the keys back and we allow ourselves to trust our emotion and to trust our impulse, because there is no wrong. There is always right. And sometimes that right takes me to a place where I say, oh, okay, so this helps me to sharpen it this way. Do not be scared to change your mind. Changing your mind is welcome, of course. But as people, we are creatures of emotion. We are creatures of feeling and experiences. And I believe that all these experiences contribute to bringing the unity that needs to come to this new time, this place of acceptance, this place of no more separation. I don't even separate men and women. I separate nothing. I don't care what you have in your underwear. I don't care what your orientation is. I don't care where you come from. I care that you have a heart. And this is what connects us as humans. And of course, we're connected to other things. The stone for me is just like another person. It's just a stone. It has essence. It has vibration. It has so much knowledge. It brings me comfort. And so I use this, and thank you to my teachers that have shared other knowledge, because then during the ceremony towards dawn, we enter a sweat lodge at Temescal, and we sit and we sweat. And again, I do them in a way where it is no hardship. I had a teacher once that said that people cannot heal or better themselves when they're busy surviving. And I believe this very strongly. The way of softness is also possible. It doesn't mean that the other ways, they have their place for other people. That is fine. But the way I explore now is, can I do this with softness? Can I do this with a smile? Can I do this with a hug? Because why not? I look at my mother, the earth, and this is how she treats me. She doesn't slap me. She always loves me. My father above me is always proud of me. So I take example from this. Wachuma has always been kind to me. And now I found that in my experience, when the cooking was from fresh, and maybe because of the way the ceremonies were, I don't know, sometimes there were slaps. There was hardship. There was effort on my side. Yeah? And now I find that with this, even if it's something difficult, it comes with grace. And this grace makes all the difference, because I looked at people that sat with me and they were at peace, even when they were dealing with things that are not very simple. there was peace, there was bliss. They felt good. And something, you see something, there's some kind of issue that comes up, and in your head that this is supposed to be difficult and this is supposed to be hard, but you don't feel hard and you don't feel difficulty because it's just an issue. And then the medicine brings it up. And this was something that just really, truly amazed me. And then more people just came to question and to see. And I started giving people more and more medicine to microdose. There are quite a few that are doing it now. Some of them are cooking, some not. It depends on them. But what I found was also that when the medicine was in my house, I could feel it. And after I microdosed for quite a long time, I found that I didn't even need to drink anymore. The medicine was in my blood. It was like I felt the energy so strongly that the door opened and it remained open. And the medicine just flows and flows and flows. And I look around and I say, this is what is needed. This lack of separation, this unity that doesn't mean that we all, you don't have to have coffee with everyone. It's fine. But accepting the fact that that person is also part of the spiral that makes this music. The fact that it's possible to do A and B and C and D and E together. And it's still fine. And there's no wrong. There's no wrong. Because I believe that when you choose your eyes, when you choose to see the goodness, when you can feel it, just like when you feel appreciation, you won't have the need to say you yes and you no. You won't have the need, or I don't have the need to judge anything at all, because my line is very clear and my eyes are very clear in the way I decided to see. And I decided to see that all people are basically good and basically want the same thing. They want well-being. They want calmness. And I think sometimes in the world around us right now, there is confusion. There's a storm outside. And many things are changing, and sometimes it's very scary. And I look and I say, if you sit with Wachuma, with this fermented medicine, this pure spirit, it will show you that everything is fine. There's water coming from the sky. There's food coming from the ground. We're fine. We just need to stop. And I think that maybe because our minds are so strong, sometimes it's a little difficult. It's practice. And this is where I'm going with this. It's like before it was medicine, and now it's alive. And I'm capable of speaking to it whether I drink it or not. And it comes. And it shows me. And every time if I have doubt, I look and I say, yes, right. Wachuma is right here. It's right here. It's waiting for us to just take a step and trust. Because, I understand the old way and not sharing everything and who is worthy and who is not. And I look and I say, if somebody cannot hold it, they won't. It's not mine. It's not mine to judge. Wachuma wants to be around. It spread itself all over the world. And now in this way of fermentation, first of all, there's no issue in storing it. it's, you know, you ferment and it's alive and it's there and it doesn't go bad. And second, I think that there's something going on with the SCOBY. I actually started experimenting with the SCOBY itself, whether it's drying it or just drinking some of it or eating some of it to see what it feels like. And it's kind of like it vibrated. I don't know how to really to explain this, but when I was experimenting with this, I felt it in my body, and I felt the connection that I have to everything around me, the living world. And the living world is everything around us. And I realized that I was fortunate enough to have enough sources that are different, whether it's from North America to South America, to channelings, to yogis, to different views and different people and different methods that all spoke basically the same thing. Ask and it is given. The universe will give what you ask for. What do you vibrate? How do you see? And when I was with this medicine, when I practiced other things with it, like how I speak, like what words do I choose? What surroundings do I choose? Then everything changed. I decided to be a loving person. So I send love. This is all I can do. And this came from a different teacher. But when I sat with the medicine, I could feel it. I could feel that these are the eyes I will choose. And Wachuma guides me. I ask and things come. I have doubts and it calms everything down. It's amazing how, to me, it's amazing how simple it became. Especially because after I started with all the ceremonies and everything, I went back to microdosing at night. I would take a spoon of the medicine, of the fermented medicine, before I go to sleep. And pictures and data started coming in. And it was liberating. I have to say it's liberating to know that it has nothing to do with material. The images that came as in, yes, everybody deserves. The medicine is within us and all around us. And therefore, everyone deserves to know this. And so today, when I cook, I invite friends. If they wish, I go to their place. I went to many places, like in Spain and in other places, that I went to cook with people, so they may see and they may experience. Because the cooking itself, the process itself, because it's so long, it takes a long time for the medicine to dry. The cooking is very short because the medicine is dry, so the medicine comes out very quickly. But then you have to sit with the SCOBY for 3-4 weeks. It takes a long time. And then this patience and this taking care of this child that turns from, the entity of Wachuma, the medicine, it just grows and grows and becomes pure and pure and pure. When I cook, the medicine itself is quite dark. It's like dark brown, maybe even black sometimes. And then when it sits with a SCOBY, it becomes this beautiful, beautiful honey color. Because I add honey to feed the SCOBY, you need to add honey. And I add a little bit of strong tea just to feed the SCOBY in the beginning. And it changes its color and its smell and its essence. And this change is something that it amazes me every time, because it's like a transformation from just a soup of medicine to a living, breathing thing where I can feel it. I can feel it in the house. I can feel it when I pass next to it. Today, I just smell it and everything opens. And I see the colors around me. It's, I think it has to do, I think it came now because we're ready. We're ready to do things softer, because so far, this is what it's brought us. You know, I mean, there's much hardness in the world and much strictness, and it's brought us to here. And this is a very good point to be able to evolve into something else, to evolve into. This is for me, you know, many people say about now is the time of women, or now is the time of the feminine. And I look and I say, yes, our mother is very soft. Our mother is very soft, but this is an essence. I know quite a few men that have this essence. They don't have to be women. Women, maybe it comes more naturally, yeah. But I feel the essence. And the essence is for everyone. And the softness is for everyone. And if they wish it, they take it. And if they don't, I love them too. Why? Because this is what the medicine has taught me. It has taught me the softness is not something you deserve or you don't. It's something you are. And it is very important for me to be that. If I say something, I want to be that. It needs to do that in order for me to keep a straight line. And I believe that's what's happening now. And I'm still amazed that I was so privileged to be able to be a part of this new way. It's not really a new way, it's a very, very old way. Because the memories of that are arriving when I go to sleep and I get these images from the medicine. It's like, it's a memory. I don't learn anything. I actually remember things from before our memories. And there is this simplicity. And this simplicity is just like the trees in the forest. They don't fight. They don't say, you're tall and you're this and you deserve to live and you don't. There's nothing like that. And abundance just flows. It just comes. There's no need for effort. And this comes in an experience. It's like, it's not really from the mind. That's why sometimes I have a little bit of difficulty to find the words for this, because it's something I feel. It's something that I see it, but there are so many layers that I look and I say, wow, okay, so we are so very small. We are so very small that we are not here to grasp this. But I can feel that it's right. It's just like when I look and I say, don't worry, we're fine. We're going to be fine. The world is going to a great place. The world, humans, us, are going to a good, soft place. How do I know? I don't know. I don't know, but I feel it. And I can see in the colors. And I can see in people's hearts what I see. Yes, I don't know what they actually feel, but when I look, I can see this need for soft, for hugging, for encouragement, for saying, yes, good for you. Why? Because you're you. Does your heart say, do this? Go. Is it right? I don't know. There is no wrong. How? There can't be. The universe does not make mistakes, ever. There is no you are right and you are wrong. We are here to experience. We are here to be in joy. We are here to feel all this amazing range of emotion. I was sitting in a ceremony and, sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I cry, there's pain. Am I okay? Always. I'm always fine. I'm just sad or happy or this, and then it becomes so much softer because there's no judgment in this. There's no, you should be like this, or you should be like this, or this is wrong, or this is right. It just makes everything very straight. And so this is where I see it going. And this medicine is basically, I don't really like comparing, but it's very much like the things that I bring in to support it, like cacao, is very subtle. Sometimes people will come and say, I don't feel, I don't know what's going on. I say, okay, wait, let's see. And then they see that the drama is gone. And without the drama, everything becomes so much simpler because we're not in a hurry to do anything. It's an absolute gift for me. It's an absolute gift for me. And now that I have, again, the very great privilege of meeting other people from different places, and I don't hold back. And they say, what do you share? And I say, everything. Everything. Am I ready? I don't know. Are you? You would know. I can't know. I can't say. Because this is what the medicine has told me. It was it was not very simple for me to take a step away from the path I was walking before. It was a very strict path. It held me in place at the time. But after a while, it became constricting to me because I felt that there was something more on this side. It's not, there's other things. And I have much, much, much respect for all the people who walked before me and all the ancestors that brought these things and all my teachers that shared what they did. But I believe that now, with all these things, I sometimes stand on their shoulders, yes. I am basing things on other things, but I get to bring in everything together. And some people it suits, and some people not so much. And that's fine. It's actually very good because all these different things are what makes us so interesting. It's what makes the world, what it is. There are many different trees in the forest, or else it would not be really a forest, Each one brings its own quality. So when I took a step back from what I was taught was the way, it was not simple. because I felt like sometimes I was a little betraying this or loyalty or things like this that came up, and I was very confused until I talked to the medicine, because there was no confusion, because in my heart, I knew that this is the path that I am going to walk, because this is who I am. I am just me, and I'm no different than anyone else, not really, not in my in the fact that I exist and I'm here now. And if it's that way, then all this judgment needs to go. And so I let go of many ethics I had, of many opinions I had, of many rules that I had. I let go of a lot of things that are considered a certain kind of morality. I let go of loyalty to anyone but my heart. And it wasn't very simple for me, but it felt so right. It felt so right for me. And so I decided to have faith in this. And so I talked to the medicine more and more. And the more I came in contact with, again, with a specific way of fermenting. What happened was that I was able to do this without any strife. I was able to do these things with a smile and understanding and much, much softness, especially if there was someone who was a bit angry or a bit, how can you do this? With much love, I follow my heart. And my heart, Wachuma speaks straight to it. It comes straight into my heart and opens it up. And when it opens it up, there are no boundaries, none whatsoever. And all these patterns come, and all these symbols come. And do I know what they mean? Not really. But I know how they make me feel. Because in these ceremonies that I do now, I concentrate more on supporting people feeling what they actually feel rather than what they're supposed to or what I would say. So there are less words. There are medicine songs that bring vibration. So everything is dependent on energy and emotion and impulses. And for me, it feels right. So I know that this is a lot of this webinar thing is mostly for what I experienced and things like that, but I believe that there is something higher when we talk about the fermentation of the medicine. Something happens. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure how it happens either. But I know that when I ferment the medicine, something opens up. It's like another gate, like when I used to sit in ceremonies and I would drink Wachuma, and yes, a door would open and then there would be all different things that would happen. And yes, it would touch my heart. But now with the fermentation, it's so pure. It's alive is not enough. The word alive is not enough to describe what it is. I don't have a word for this, but it is so present. It is so soft as well, that I think there is a transformation. I think it kind of shifts into something that is wider, like everything becomes kind of wider to all directions, and I feel very safe. I feel very, very safe with it. There's a lot of I have no questions. All of a sudden, there's no questions. I'm not looking for answers at all. I don't even, I don't even bother. It just, yes, 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 yes. This is all that comes in every time that I sit with this. And now even more, I don't even need to sit with it. I don't even need to drink, when I make the medicine, I already feel it humming in my body. And the people I talk to, they're like, wow, okay, so I feel it. What's going on? And I was like, it's all around us. It's alive. When you put it in your house, pay attention how you put it. You need to speak to it. It's an entity and you can feel it. You can feel it present. And I think this also has to do with the fermentation. I'm not sure how. I don't know what happens there. When we make the chicha drink, for example, it's not really chicha, it's made with yucca roots. And I ferment that as well. And all these things that ferment, I don't know what happens there, but they are living. I can feel them vibrating. And this vibration, it's not of a language I ever experienced before, except when I was in living water, in very pure water, I could feel that. When I'm with a fire, I can feel that. It's all these entities that are just there waiting for us to ask, waiting for us to say, yes, I'm open to this. I have to say that there were quite, not many, but there are some people that are, I found that were less open to this. I was like, okay, that's everything you decide is good. Because yes, but why do you do this? I was like, I don't know. But I was offered something and I said yes. And as soon as I said yes, everything changed. And now it calls me from everywhere. And I would love to just keep doing what I do and go from place to place and share this knowledge. Because I believe that if it's in the air, it belongs to no one and belongs to everyone. And this is a main issue with me, that I insist on sharing everything. I believe we're all worthy. I believe that we all deserve the opportunity to speak directly to the medicine. When we cook, there is so much energy. Why ceremony and not cooking? What I don't understand anymore. It's like the medicine has changed so much in my eyes that my understanding is different now. I don't speak that anymore. The only thing I speak now is we are all part of this spiral. And if you want, yes, it's here. And no, the knowledge is not mine. The songs are not mine. The medicine is not mine. It's no one's and everyone's. It is an entity within itself. It's like energy. It's like love. It's like the universe does not look at you and say, okay, you deserve and you don't. So this is mostly what my experience was with this. And today I ferment everything, absolutely everything. I don't, yeah, I have a few acquaintances through Don Agustin mostly that they would, okay, what if we do this? And say, yeah, go. If this is what the medicine says, go. And they experiment in different ways of fermenting, and new things come up. Medicinal power of being, someone just wrote to me, someone named Marty just wrote to me about it being probiotic, and how well it works with certain sicknesses, and how it helps here and how it helps. And yes, if this is what the medicine tells you, what am I to doubt? What am I to say yes or no? So I say yes. And this fermentation in different ways is just unbelievable. I also cooked from fresh and fermented, and I found that when I cook from fresh, it works more on the body as well, whereas fermenting with a SCOBY is very much a spirit thing. It kind of works with the heart and your belly impulses, whereas the cooking from fresh and fermenting was also felt very strongly in the body. But this, again, these are my experiences with very few people, because from what I understand, this is kind of a new thing. I'm not sure. I really don't know what is out there very much. My experience is, limited to what I had. But I do believe that also the fact that it takes so long, that it takes much patience to have what you would call the end result, which is not really the end result. Yes, because what happened was I had a few, and then I would let one of the batches of the Wachuma to sit longer. And the longer it fermented with the SCOBY, it changed and changed and changed and evolved. And it became so deep that sometimes I would take half a teaspoon. It would be like 2 days with a medicine, and there was no problem. They're so clear that there was absolutely no problem doing everyday things that I do every day and functioning with it like I do every day. It's just that there were more layers to it, and it was just unbelievable to me that this is another facet of this same medicine. There was actually one time where I was sitting in Sweden, and I was through Zoom with someone who was drinking the medicine, and we held the space together, and I could feel the energy through it. It's like it built a bridge. It was building bridges. Didn't have to have it there. I didn't have to drink it there, but I could feel it through that, because there's a connection made. And every time now I see that many people that I sit with, a connection is built. There's a bridge. And all these bridges are built with this living medicine. And we can feel, we can connect without being present in the physical space. I don't know if it's with other things. I just know that in my experience in this, it was so prominent and it was so strong. And I believe that the key is truly, it's the fermentation. It's how you sit with it. It's this amazing SCOBY that sits there. There's someone in Spain that actually called it Wachuma because it's like kombucha. But yes, he has some there, and we walk with it during the day, and it's like how can I explain this? When we sat during the day, because you know the sun is very strong, especially in Israel, and you know it's a ball of fire, so it's very intense. So we walked up in a mountain and we were sitting in the trees, and it was like two realities. There was that one that we are used to, that comes with everything, and then there was this very peaceful, in the same place, like a layer over a layer, that we are now sitting in this different kind of vibration that the medicine has brought. And I look and I say, okay, this is it, because we can be in this layer also when we're not drinking the medicine, because the medicine is with us all the time. It's a gate, it's an energy. And we practice that. And so when people go home, we make a memory. We sit in the ceremony, and usually it's a stone that I recommend for people to take and make a memory of how it feels. Forget the thoughts. How does it feel? How does it feel on your skin? How does it feel in your heart? What does this clarity feel like? And then when you go home, you take this stone and you remember every day, and you practice this. And this is how you bring it into everyday life. And with microdosing, it's easier to practice this, because it brings these things, and every person gets different data. You know, they receive different things into their life. The fact also that because of that first picture I got, especially with this spiral, that every person gets their own beam of light into their heart. It's easier to say, okay, can I sit with the medicine? Yes, of course you can. You don't need my permission. You need the medicine's permission. Be nice, be respectful. What is respectful? Come with you being humble. Thank you. Yes. And then, of course, nothing will mean you harm like that. If you're not respectful, you bring it. It's not the medicine. Not at all. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is pretty much, I wrote like little things that I wanted to yeah, basically this is what came. I'm quite amazed, because with the other way of cooking, when I cook from fresh, I never got anything through Dreamtime. And in many ceremonies they were saying, okay, don't fall asleep, because you need to take advantage of the fact you're in ceremony. But with this medicine, around 3 a.m, before that even, I encourage people to lay down. Say, lay down, look at the stars. Close your eyes if you need to, because the medicine knows. And if the medicine tells you now you sleep, you're not really sleeping. You're in dream time. It's something different. And then afterwards, things kind of drop into place. You know, some people get it as a very strong stream, and some people, you know, it comes very, very softly during the next month even, of things that become clearer, that become more prominent in their lives. They see little changes that they don't realize actually happened. With me, it was, well, it was everything. Quite a few people say, yeah, you used to be the scary one, and now look at you, what happened? And I was like, Wachuma happened. A decision happened. I decided that this is how I want to be. I decided that this, because Wachuma, you know, she can bring, or it can bring whatever many things, but you get to choose. You don't have to do anything. You have to die in the end. That's it. But you get to choose. And I chose. I want to be like this. I like being like this. I enjoy being like this. I don't have any strife anymore. So much nicer. And I like nicer. I really enjoy nicer. I really enjoy the fact that, yes, I can sit with many different people with many different views, and it's all good. Nothing really threatens me because I am this and you are that. It's like my sister always says, you can't compare a horse to an ashtray. It's the same thing. It's you can. So yeah, a little bit. Um, so I do take from many places. I do take from many different ways and different languages that I see basically say the same thing. I was sitting with my sister yesterday, and she said, you know, in the Hebrew tradition and in the Bible, it says, be soft. I don't even remember how it says, but it was talking about be soft and not hard. And I was like, oh, but that's what Wachuma says. And that is what our mother, the earth, says about being soft, because or else we will crack, just like the ice cracks in the winter, because it's hard. And our place is not to be hard. We're not stones. We're made of water and earth. And so we need softness. We need to let things flow through us. And these are things that are common to all these things. I happen to choose the way of the medicine. But these things, these words, these concepts are things that have always been. It just, you know, as humans, we kind of took ownership on some, but it has nothing to do with that. It's a universe for me. Yes, again, everything I say is my eyes. So I look at that and I say, okay, so I am for unity. No more separation of anything. That's it. But you get to choose, and I chose.
Okay, so I
look at that.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I had you on two computers and I was
Yeah,
having
okay.
Okay, I got that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing your experience with Wachuma. I like share most of what you say has been my own experience too,
Great.
for the 28 years that
Wow.
I have. Yeah, I started when I was 36. Now I'm 65. And I don't, it's not an easy path. It's full of tests and challenges as you walk ahead in your understanding, in the way you hold yourself, in the way you regain your power, as you say, in a humble way. The medicine teaches us we don't need to convince anyone of anything.
Amen.
Just be good examples in the way we live our lives. Because it's not what we say that is going to talk for us, it's how we walk
Yes.
our lives. And that is I'm grateful for Wachuma. I'm grateful for the community it creates, and it grows and grows. I haven't tried it. Well, I've tried fermented in the way Agustin used to prepare it many years ago, liquid, but not in the way that I know you have been preparing it.
With the SCOBY, yeah.
Yes, so that will, well, I trust there will be a moment for me to try it as well. I work with it in powder for now because it's easier to travel with it.
Yes.
Liquid is too complicated now. So and I do microdosing in with veggie cups
Okay.
and then ceremonies. And as you say, medicine has taught me that we don't need to be rolling on our backs to heal,
Yes.
or screaming and yelling and crawling all over the place. We can heal ourselves with gentleness, because we have earned it. And people are liking it, because at the beginning, I mean, many years ago when I started, I would give the medicine. I had people, young people that had tried all sorts of chemicals more than plant medicine. And so they wanted the wow experience and all that. So I would always tell, the first thing I would say is, I don't give super trips. I
Yes.
give medicine for you to heal. You want to heal? That's what I can help you with. And so all you said, it's, the visual part, yes, it can show you many things. Not always, not all the
No,
time.
I'm just a visual person. Yes.
Yeah, that is maybe also one of your gifts, that not necessarily everyone has. We all have different gifts,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
yes, the visual definitely is part of it, not in the way maybe other plants work, but it has a specific way of showing you exactly what you need at the right moment. And in the way it even used to be in like ancient times, right?
Yes.
It can show you how it looked in the past, how it was, right?
Yes. I have to say though that part of what I've been kind of receiving is also the fact that I have a little bit of issue with the word heal, because
Heal.
I look at people. Yes, I look at people today. I don't see them sick. I don't see them broken. I see them a little confused sometimes, not in alignment. But when somebody says, I want to heal, I say, you're not sick. You're not sick. You're fine. You just need a little bit of clarity because there's so much noise and it's so dense. So I started changing my words. I mean, I understand what it means when we say this. Yeah, it's not sick, heal. And
Yeah.
because we call it medicine, because it's medicine, but it's not because we're sick. But I started changing my words because I realized that when I change my words, it also becomes softer and it also becomes simpler, because when you say to someone you need to heal, it looks like a very big mountain, Like it's like a
Yes,
big
yes
thing.
and no. Yes and no.
Yeah.
That is our
It feels
like
so
our
big.
challenge.
Yeah. And then
Our
when you say,
challenge.
okay, you just need to kind of be aligned and be a little more clear, and it's very much simpler. So it's a little bit more of a kind of a little mount, and it's easier for people. And I think that's part of softening that our language and our consciousness and our bodies and everything is changing the way we speak, how we see things, It's worked for me. It's worked for me because it made things so much simpler, and things just arrive easier because I decided they will.
And they
So,
will,
yeah.
because you believe it.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. And as you were saying, everybody, we all have our own paths, our own truths, but we all get to the main, like, the unity,
Yes,
where
the
we
core.
all understand everything, where there is no difference, there is only love. And that is what we are understanding through this beautiful plant spirit that connects with us forever, as you said, and silently spreads, which is what I love. I've been in the States and I am impressed. I started going there like the past 13 years. Since then, Wachuma has grown. Everybody has Wachuma all over the place, in their houses, in their gardens.
What a
People, I mean,
blessing, huh?
I am like, oh my God, just when I look at all that is like, I love you. I love the way you spread silently without making a lot of fuss
Yeah,
around you, and just showing that humble way of being, and that you don't need to say, you just be and people know who you are.
yep,
Right.
exactly.
So that is what I love. And also, I agree with you about the quantum leap that happens in ceremonies
Yes,
with a bigger dose that allows you to open more and
yeah,
go even deeper. While the microdose is a subtle way of either beginning or continuing. Uh, when you don't have access to ceremonies like all
yeah,
the time and all
yes.
that. For me, it was a wonderful way. Agustin started with the microdoses, with the idea of microdosing
Mm,
in liquid. And
yeah,
then we started, shifting into powder
yeah,
as the medicine teaches you how to work with it.
yes.
And I found it very useful for people with very deep trauma
Mhm.
or very deep fears to start
Yep,
microdosing before doing ceremony.
yep,
Mm?
absolutely. Absolutely, because it kind of gives a ground to it. Yeah, I
Yes.
absolutely agree. I think personally, I think everybody should microdose, but that's me.
Yes, I mean, it really gives you peace inside, like an inner silence that says, oh, I'm here. I can feel myself. So I can
Yes,
look at myself. No,
yes,
what I've
yes.
understood is self-observation is what we need to be in a good space with ourselves.
Yeah,
So we can understand what are we carrying, what are we keeping, what are we believing, where are we stuck,
yeah.
that is not allowing us to walk ahead.
Mm,
And finally, it's about getting your power back. And it's not about giving our power away. We've done that for too long,
yes.
too long,
Way
right?
too long. Yeah, it's time. I think
Yes.
it's very accurate that all this change is coming now, because I can see it. I can see it all around, and I don't know if people are very aware, because there are many communities that are not aware how many of us there are.
Hmm.
There are a lot of us. I don't convince anyone. I am not here to convince anyone. There are
Hmm.
plenty of us that already have this very strong vibration that is going that way of softness. I don't think there is any, no worry or no nothing. There's so many. There's so many. And we're all technically going the same thing, even though we speak a different way, you know?
Yes, or we receive different ways of,
Yeah.
doing,
Yes,
carrying the medicine.
absolutely.
Excuse me.
It's quite
And
interesting
and
to see all these
excuse me.
ways. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And as you said, tobacco, cacao, coca.
Mm.
Even in my case, I sometimes also use cannabis for some
Amen.
people that need to relax.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. I didn't mention that, but I absolutely agree. There are people that these are all medicines, and I believe that they speak well together. And
Yes, not necessarily for everybody.
no, no,
Like it's
yeah,
about you with this, you might like help yourself to go
yeah,
deeper. I don't recommend this in your case, and
yeah,
so on. Right?
yes,
We should, well, we'll get together at some point,
we will absolutely.
gathering all the knowledge of all. Yeah, I love this. I really love this. And when you say about hard, some things are hard. And I used to say, oh, if this is hard, this is hard. And then the medicine was telling me,
No,
if you continue saying it's hard, it's going to be hard and harder. And like it told me, it is not easy,
mm,
but we can do it.
yes,
But we can change something.
yeah,
But we can live in a different way, right?
yes. It's just changing the words. It's like people say effort, and I was like, no effort, no effort. Sometimes it's a lot of work, sometimes it's dedication, but it's not effort.
Right.
These words I put away from my dictionary, and I don't want them anymore. because that's what they bring.
Yeah,
And I'm not interested.
definitely not. So yes, definitely it's a medicine, a heart opener, as you've said, and a mind opener. And you can live in like with so much more ease, which doesn't mean we're not going to experience what life brings to us. It's
No,
the way it teaches us to bring it in and process it that can
yes,
change,
yes,
right?
yes. It's all expansion. There are no bad experiences. It's all expansion. It's just how you see it. So choose different eyes. That's all.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. I totally agree with all of what you said. I resonate. I learned more or less the same in different ways, which I
Yes.
love. I love to see how more and more people can understand that we don't need to suffer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
like I have to suffer. I don't need to.
No, it's kind of a habit. It's
Yeah,
a habit that we developed, and no, there's no need to suffer. Doing something that is not necessarily easy is not suffering. That's the choice. Suffering is absolute choice.
yeah, because as you said, what we experience is what we need to continue evolving. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong or bad. It's exactly what we have signed up for to
Yes.
grow, to evolve. The thing is, we say that some people get like, how can you say this? Like, you don't know what I have experienced. So
Mhm.
it's not that I'm talking without knowledge uh, of how things are. I have a deep knowledge of what pain means, of etc. No, we all do to be where we are and to understand what we get to
Yes.
understand, right?
Yes, but pain is not suffering. And
No,
heart
it's not
is
suffering.
no, there's a difference, or else it would be the same word, and it's not the same word. So it's a
Definitely,
choice. Yeah, I'm a
exactly.
very strong believer in choice.
So there are some questions here.
Please.
Unless you would like to add something before going into the
No,
questions.
we're all good.
Great. Okay, so Paul Bluehawk Barrett is asking, what is your background and how long have you been working with Wachuma?
Mm, uh, hi, Paul. I've been working with Wachuma almost 12 years, just about, and my background comes from a few teachers that have a background from North America and South America together. It's usually very strict ceremonies with very specific rules, as it was done, as it has been done for I guess millennia even. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much as I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Chinese illuminating talk. They're, congratulating you
Thank you.
about what you have said and all that. Um, yeah, not that many questions today, but I think because you have explained everything with clarity,
Thank you.
very clearly focused, and we are really grateful for being able to continue hearing more people, more women in in this path of
Yes.
helping others find themselves. That's what we're doing.
Amen.
We are finding ourselves, and
Yes.
then we can help others find themselves. For
Yes.
me, this path is about mastering our lives. Like each one has to learn to master their lives, to be community, not one under the other, telling somebody what is right or wrong, but that we all flow in that energy of understanding what
Yeah.
things are and how they are. And that's what I love of how this plant medicine, plant spirits that have come from other parts. For me, Wachuma told me once it came from the Pleiades,
Mm,
and it had come to remind us who we are in essence, stars.
yes,
We are star beings, and when you cut the Wachuma, it's a star.
it is
So, right?
so
So
beautiful. Yes.
yeah, I love that explanation was like, wow. So it just, reminds us that we are energy. This is
Mm,
our physical temple here,
yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely. And I do, I don't know how and what others, but I would like to mention that this is again the highest thing that has been brought is the sharing of it, and not just the medicine itself. Also the way to make it, the fact that yes, you can have it in your home. It's not a privilege thing, it's an everyone thing. My door will always be open. um I don't know about other people, really, truly. I have respect for all the people who believe whatever they believe, but this is for me so. It's of the highest priority to understand that it's not a privileged thing. It's not a privileged thing. It was meant for everyone, and I'm not the one who decides who yes and who no. The medicine will decide. Trust me. If you're not meant to cook it, it won't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree again with you totally. And the medicine, it calls you more than you wanting to look for it or wanting to
Yeah,
work with it and to etc. with it.
it will
And
come.
yes, so
Yes.
it's not pushing it, it's just feeling how things are and surrendering to the flow of the universe and what it brings to you more than trying to fight. We lose a lot of energy fighting for things that are not going to come to fruition.
And I'm not a big believer in fighting.
Wasting the time. Yeah, yeah,
Wonderful.
exactly. So we appreciate so much you have taken the time to share with us. And I'm sure we will have more opportunities to continue sharing. And hopefully we will meet and share in
Oh, I'm
person.
sure we will. I'm sure
Yeah.
we will.
Anytime you come to Peru, let me know. You are welcome.
I will. I absolutely will. Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. It's a great thing to hear other people and to be able to share this. And yeah, again, I'm always available. This is the highest priority for me. So thank you so much.
I am so happy to have met you and thanking Agustin for being the
Yes,
one that is bringing all of us together through these online conferences that have become
absolutely.
so important and
Yeah.
so full of super interesting information.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Agustin?
Gracias,
Okay.
gracias por todo.
Yeah, Agustin.
Thank you, sir.
No sé, you are welcome. Gracias. Thank you for the medicine and thank you for the time and the time that you are spending just to having experience to the fermentation and all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. It's a privilege. It's truly a privilege. Um, I feel blessed. I truly do. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the confidence, and the fact that you share this so openly and you encourage so much. It's I can't imagine anything better. Truly.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
for, thank you for your time and thank you for trust me.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. I will see you very soon.
Bye.
Okay, so
Okay, al fin, tin, tin.
well, we'll see next time. Okay, bye bye.
Un abrazo.
Yeah.